Pete. Big win for Palace, wasn't it? And what about this turnaround we've seen from them recently?
Yeah, it's been really impressive. They were very much slow starters to this season. They won 6 out of their last 7 under Glasner at the end of last season, and it was real optimism going into the season, but it didn't start well at all for them. You can see just 1 win in their first 13 Premier League games. They lost 6 of those matches. And weren't many goals either, just 11 goals in those first 13 games. But now we've seen this transformation since December, with them winning 8 out of their last 14, and the goals are flying in as well, 24 for them in total, and plenty last night for them at Selhurst Park. So, yeah, this team, you know, they lost Elise in the summer, let's not forget that. They lost Anderson, a key player for them at the back, so they've had to make adjustments. But I'm pleased they stood by Glasner and kept with him, because this is a manager who's shown in Germany, and he showed at the back end of last season he's got Premier League quality, certainly, and I think that's been shown in the last few weeks, where he's really taken Palace up the table and putting in some very impressive performances. I think it's fair to say that even when results weren't going their way, there were still signs in those matches of what he was trying to do, and now it's paying off for them.
Yeah. Sitting just over there on deadline day was Paul Merson, who was effectively saying Manchester United should go out and buy Jean-Philippe Mateta, because we were talking about United at the time. Yeah. It's this kind of form that makes people sit up and take notice. Palace fans will be desperate for him to stay.
Well, you sit up and take notice when he scored 2 goals at Old Trafford as well, Rob, and looks like a fantastic striker, a real number 9. And at the other end, Man United are struggling so badly to score themselves. And, you know, this is everything that Ruben Amorim would want at the top of his team. But right now, Mateta, absolute fan favourite at Selhurst Park, and you can see why, as we see here, 8 goals in 2025. So that's 8 in his last 9 matches, matching Mo Salah. And yeah, he's a fantastic striker. We saw his goal there, and you know, shirt tucked in, he looks the part, doesn't he? He's got the stature. I think a bit like Palace, you know, he won the Olympics in the summer with France, and again, it took a little bit of time to get going this season, but he's certainly flying now, and it helps when Eze is clicking as well. We can see here that he's set him up for 5 goals so far this season. Only Murphy setting up Isak has been a more prolific partnership so far in the Premier League. So these two, when they're on form and on fire as they are right now, make Palace quite an exciting proposition.
OK. I like the height difference there.
Yeah. We should also point out, I guess, Watkins and Rodgers last night. So they've got 4 goals between them. Or Watkins setting up Rodgers 4 times. Could be 5. That VAR call last night in the first half was so marginal, wasn't it, for the offside? So, yeah, that's another positive combination in the Premier League.
Talking of which, we saw Thomas Tuchel in the stands. An impressive performance from one of the Palace players may have stood out for him.
Yes, Adam Wharton. There are a few to admire, actually. You know, Dean Henderson there, Mark Gahey, of course, as well. Eze, as we've just mentioned, for Palace. But Adam Wharton, first start since October. A long series of niggling injuries for him to keep him on the sidelines. But this is a player who looks back, and we saw his quality and his class last night. So chances created. He was involved in all 3 goals. No assists for him, but in the build-up to these goals, he was involved. And this ranks him second in the match across both sides in terms of chances created. You can see passes attempted, 30 there as well. 7th overall in the game, but particularly in the final third. So he ranked top here for Palace. And that's what he really brings to this team. A bit of control, a bit of an ability to find a way through, pick a way through defences, and he does the other side of the game as well. Ball recovery 7th, second across the game for those as well, and winning 6 duels in the match. So a very exciting return to the starting lineup for Adam Wharton. And as you say, Thomas Tuchel looking on. Wharton was in the Euro squad, wasn't he, last summer under Gareth Southgate? Didn't get on at all during that tournament, but showing why he was selected, I think, last night.
On the opposition, though, what about Morgan Rodgers? Will he have impressed?
Oh, almost certainly. I think every time you watch Morgan Rodgers this season, you're impressed. Just remember, this is his first full season in the Premier League, and among players under 22 in the Premier League this season, he's got 11 goal involvements, which, look, there's not many players doing much better, not many young players doing much better than him in that regard. Obviously, Cole Palmer, way out ahead. We've spoken already in the show about what a good start to the season he's had, despite his recent struggles. Amad Diallo, obviously, ruled out for the rest of the season as well. Delap's been excellent at Ipswich, and Elanga, part of a very good Nottingham Forest side. Madueke, again, had a good start to the season for Chelsea. But Rodgers, along with that hat-trick in the Champions League against Celtic, he's had some great moments so far in a Villa shirt. And I think that driving, running, that he brings from midfield and the connections he can make around the box with the likes of Ollie Watkins are promising for Thomas Tuchel. He got his first couple of England caps under Lee Carsley in the Nations League, and I'd expect him really to be in the squad for this next round of March internationals.
As for Villa, and we showed how tight it is in that top half of the table, but it's their away form in particular that is troubling, isn't it?
Look at this, it's dreadful, isn't it, really, for Aston Villa? Yeah, absolutely. We talk about what a force they are at Villa Park. They've lost 7 of their last 9 away from home in the Premier League, which would rank, well, their form across the season away from home ranks them 15th. But down there with teams, obviously Everton have pulled themselves up a little bit now, Wolves have pulled themselves up a bit in the table, but not far above the relegation threatened trio. So if, Villa, in terms of what's gone wrong for them this season, in terms of trying to qualify for the Champions League through the league again, they have to look at their away form. That's where they've really dropped the points. That's left them 10th in the table overall.